Hi, I'm Mike from PokeTips, and today was a huge day in the world of Pokemon. So we just got a brand new Pokemon Direct. 15 minutes of brand new Pokemon Sword and Shield information. Now that Direct, it revealed a lot of new things about the game. However, the biggest thing that it revealed wasn't even part of the Direct. This Direct actually confirmed a leak that happened back on May 23rd. And I know what you're saying, leak. Oh, it's probably fake. And look, normally I'm right there with you. However, way too much was revealed in this Direct today that the leak mentioned by name a few weeks ago. For example, this leak that came out a few weeks ago revealed that your rival was named Hop, which was confirmed today. It confirmed the mechanic Dynamaxing by name, which once again was confirmed today, and also mentioned the gym leader Milo and name dropped the new Pokemon Wooloo, which were both confirmed today. Since this leak got all of that and more stuff right by name 2 weeks before any of this stuff was actually revealed, it's 100% safe to say this is a real Pokemon Sword and Shield leak. So spoiler warning, I'm about to talk about a lot of stuff that has not been revealed yet. So let's jump right into things. I'm going to start from the top here. So the leak said your rival is named Hop, and you'll also be facing off against other rivals called Bede and Marnie. The Direct actually confirmed to us today that Hop wasn't going to be our only rival, so we actually know who the other two are now. Now Marnie actually gets a little bit more interesting than that. More on that in a moment though. Next, we know the team in this game is going to be called Team Yell, and they're described as a gang. Apparently, they're well-meaning fans of Marnie causing some trouble. With that information, it's safe to assume that this Marnie person, whoever that's going to be, might eventually become the leader of this team called Team Yell. And yes, I know, Team Yell, is a very weird name. If you remember from the Pokemon Direct today, they made a big emphasis on how trainers in the stadium would watch you battle and become fans of you and make you popular. They said everything was televised and so on, so it makes sense that a strong trainer, which I'm assuming Marnie is, would gain a pretty large following, and maybe they would cause some trouble. Moving on, it says to become part of the gym challenge, you'll have to get an endorsement. Bede apparently gets an endorsement from Chairman Rose and the Secretary Olina. I have no idea what that means. Well, apparently this game is going to have an evil legendary Pokemon called Eternus. The leak also mentioned how the other legendary for the game will be a wolf who will either have a shield mane or hold a sword. After seeing the Direct today, we saw both of those legendary Pokemon, so we now know that the legendary wolves are definitely going to be version exclusives. It looks like you're not going to be able to get both of them in the same game, and there's also going to be an evil legendary Pokemon, and I didn't really know Pokemon could be evil, so I'm interested to see how that plays out in the storyline. Next, they went on to tell us there's going to be not one, but two new big mechanics in this game. The first one we saw today is called Dynamaxing, and we know it'll supersize the Pokemon in the area. However, this next one we don't officially know about yet, called Gigantamaxing? I want to say that's what it's called, and apparently it's going to be different from Dynamax, as instead of making the Pokemon larger, it changes what the Pokemon looks like. They gave us some examples here, saying that Meowth is apparently going to get really long, Lapras is going to get layers like musical bars added to its shell, and Pikachu is going to look more like a fat Pikachu, kind of like that classic design when Pokemon Red and Blue came out back in the day. Honestly, when I saw Dynamaxing in the trailer, I was kind of disappointed. I was really hoping for Armored Evolution instead of all this stuff, but overall, rather than any of this, I would just rather see them explore the new mechanics that we got from other generations, like Mega Evolutions and Z-Moves. I feel like moving forward to Sword and Shield, those are going to be kind of put on the back burner so they could show off the new shiny thing, but now Pokemon, it just has so much stuff. I wish they would explore the old stuff more. Anyway, moving on, they talked next about Sonia, Leon, and the Professor. They said Sonia, who we now know is the assistant to the Professor, is Leon, the champion's former rival, and apparently Sonia is going to be researching Dynamax for her grandmother, the Professor. Next, you're really going to like this one. Some Pokemon, like Farfetch'd, are going to get regional evolutions. Now, they said the regional evolution for Farfetch'd is going to be called Sirfetch'd. Meowth is also apparently getting one, They also, at the end, said Meowth looks like a ball of spiky gray fur, and honestly, I don't think Meowth needs anything more. It got in a Alolan form last generation, but I'm excited to see Farfetch'd get an evolution, finally! If you remember, about a year ago, a leak came out revealing some cut Generation 2 Pokemon from Gold and Silver's beta, and way back in the day, Farfetch'd was actually supposed to get an evolution, so it's nice seeing that concept and idea revisited all these years later. I really think Farfetch'd needed an evolution, and I can't wait to see what else is going to get an evolution in Sword and Shield. After that, they revealed 2 new Pokemon, Squeakovet and Greedent. I probably butchered those names, but oh well. And apparently, they're chipmunk Pokemon who hide in berry trees and attack randomly if you shake for too many berries. Now, before the trailer that we got today, we didn't even know anything about berry trees, but we saw that berry trees are in this game, you do have to shake them to get berries, and it would make sense if a Pokemon jumped out of the tree and attacked you. So, again, if you have any doubts about this leak, it seems super legit. Apparently, if these Pokemon attack you, you'll lose half the berries that dropped. Next, they revealed a lot of stuff about the gym leaders in this game. We had 4 gym leader names leaked to us: Milo, who we now know is the grass-type gym leader, Nessa, Kabu, and Opal. Now, the leak went into a little detail about these gym leaders and their challenges. For Milo's gym, you're going to have to herd the sheep Pokemon called Wooloo, which was confirmed today, and a Pokemon called Pamper, an electric corgi Pokemon, will startle them and send them rolling elsewhere, kind of making your challenge a little bit difficult. Next, Nessa has you running through a maze where water blocks the way, and I'm assuming Nessa is going to be a water-type gym leader, because if you're running through a water maze, and with a name like Nessa, which kind of sounds like Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster, it would only make sense. Now, Kabu, I have no idea what type of gym this person's going to have, but apparently their puzzle is going to require you to catch Pokemon and get 5 points. Apparently, you'll have to be in a party battle with another trainer who's also trying to catch the Pokemon. Maybe you're competing with another Pokemon trainer in the gym trying to catch a Pokemon first. Who knows? We'll find out about it soon enough. And last but not least, the 4th gym leader is going to be called Opal, and she runs a fairy-type gym. Apparently, she's going to be an actress. After that, the leak said there was a transit system in the game, which we now know is featuring the Pokemon Corviknight. But they say that you will have to go through a place called the Wild Area at times, which they described very accurately, an open-world biome that has a weather system and little pockets where Pokemon Dynamax and have to be beaten in a 4-person raid. Again, if you guys have any doubts, this came out on May 23rd. Nobody's just guessing all this stuff. Like we know, you could see other players in this area, but also when you interact with them, the leak told us you'll get their league cards and some items, which could be a nice way to get some special items in this game. It looks like Pokemon Ami and Pokemon Refresh got revamped in Sword and Shield, and now they're calling it Camping. So for camping, you'll apparently get 2 toys, a feather toy and a toy Pokeball, which can raise the friendship of the Pokemon you're playing with. You could also cook them some curry, which is going to raise some stats and friendliness. And out of all the things that you could make in this game, I was not expecting curry to be the one, but hey, curry tastes good. The leak also reconfirmed that Pokemon will not be following beside you in the map. And now, we're getting to the end, where they're talking about the starter Pokemon. So for Scorbunny, they say that Scorbunny will have fighting moves and is a pure fighter. It apparently evolves into a Pokemon called Raboot, and then the final evolution they forgot the name of, but again, it looks like a humanoid fighter. I am so disappointed. I was hoping so much that they wouldn't do another firefighting starter, but it looks like I'm wrong and they're doing it again. Moving on to Sobble, Sobble's middle form will be called Sizzile, and then its final evolution will be called Intelleon, a chameleon with a spy theme. Now that goes back to the original trailer for Pokemon Sword and Shield. We saw Sobble blending in with its environment in that little water fountain, so I could definitely see its final evolution being like a spy chameleon. Very cool. Might be Team Sobble after I see the evolutions. And Grookey, they didn't give us the name for its middle or final evolution, but they said it's going to end up as a giant gorilla that beats a wood drum to attack. Again, it kind of ties back into the original trailer, because when we first saw Grookey, it was beating a stick on the ground, almost like a musical type thing. And last but not least, they said the best Pokemon they saw so far is a blue seagull who, when it dives, it either gets a Barracuda in its mouth or a Pikachu, which it throws at its enemy. Now, I don't really understand how a seagull is going to be picking up a Pikachu. I would assume it would, like, electrocute it and everything. But, you know, it sounds like an interesting Pokemon, and I can't wait to see what it looks like. So, that's about it for all the leaks. That is a lot of stuff, though. And again, the Direct that came out today, like, super confirms everything in this leak. So much of it is just impossible for somebody to guess. You know, you can make up mechanics, you can make up Pokemon, but when you get specific names like this that come true 2 weeks later, this is definitely some insider information that got out. And this leak was also deleted, so I had to look at a screenshot to actually be able to talk about it. So you know, that does seem kind of fishy. But my friends, I want to know what you guys think about this leak. Based on the descriptions of the starters, which one are you going to choose now? I really like the whole spy chameleon theme for Sobble, and as much as I want to stay on Team Scorbunny, I might move over to Team Sobble after this. Again, let me know in the comment section what Pokemon you want to choose, and if you like how Pokemon Sword and Shield are coming out so far. Thanks for watching, and my friends, I'll be seeing you guys next time.